Welcome back to Rogue Trader. This is episode number 2 of our full release gameplay. We are kind of trying to head to see THEODORA von Valancius, and so we are going to continue doing just that. If you missed last episode, I highly recommend you go check that out. So we're kind of beelining through what we did in that beta video, and just kind of moving into the new stuff as quickly as possible. So yeah, let's see if we can find THEODORA von Valancius. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe for new videos every single day, and make sure to like if you like it. Yeah, let's dive right into it here and see what we can do.
Let us walk this path to the end.
So we're going over here to see THEODORA. Or I think we're going over here. I think my camera had gotten... Yeah, my camera had gotten turned. Because it's been a day or two since I played. That is simply irrational, Lady THEODORA, says the man dressed in peculiar garb, his voice tight with tension, his face, half of which is covered by sin skin, is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation into the trade structure will be political and economic suicide, practically an admission of heresy. The tall, gray-haired woman pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Then suggests an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation, no worse than my Senescal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrid? Listen in silence. While you were considering your answer, Adelthrid, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I will hear something more interesting than incoherent mumbling. THEODORA nods in your direction. Approach. What is this? Edelthrid turns to you and regards you with indignation. Is this someone from your retinue, THEODORA? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversation in such a fashion? I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. This is Seren Santiago, the second candidate for the title of my successor. The rogue trader regards you with a look that is imperious, predatory, and oppressive. Step forward. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6, a new world on the fringes of the Corona's expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits to protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flight to fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? I believe I could use my personal abilities to ascertain whether there was sorcery on Ion 6, but it would require going down to the surface in person. Ah yes. Personal intervention. The surest way to leave yourself vulnerable. THEODORA absent-mindedly touches one of her mini augmetics. What say you, Edelthrid? Your brother in sorcery is not afraid to face danger, unlike you. A psyker's soul is a yawning gate for the ruinous powers. Edelthrid's gaze burns through you as he grits out every word through his teeth. One could hardly trust a servant of the Imperium who is so eager to usher in corruption. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Edelthrid. The color drains from Edelthrid's face, which distorts his features further. Insolent, ignorant upstart, how dare you? Edelthrid? THEODORA's tone renders him silent. I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me, then, why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck instead of proceeding into the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview. I beg your forgiveness, Lady THEODORA. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time. Edelthrid bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look. So, says Santiago, why are you here? Was it not you who sent for me? Or there are questions that I wish to have answered. You were direct. I approve, but you will have to wait. There is something I want you to understand first. My name is Theodora von Valentius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic, the warrant of trade kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light where power is wicked and heretical, reign in both death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find passed about to the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find their own resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, says Santiago, are one of those with the Von Valantia's blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. It's all too sudden for me. Perhaps. Yesterday you were just another servant of the Imperium, one of the faithless multitude. Today, visitors in the Von Valentia's colors come to you without any explanation and escort you to a vessel that departs for the far-off Corona's expanse. But such is the nature of my position. My claim on you is sacred and non-negotiable. I require all those who possess even a drop of the Von Valentia's blood, no matter who they may be. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful, if not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of our closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Grunrad Voigtfear served me for many years before he made his mistake. Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you? His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name Von Valentius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, he can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voigtfear's performance in his current role is satisfactory, or it used to be, at least. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my question now? The vox affixed to Theodora's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is unintelligible noise. Theodora winces, shuts off the transmission, and gives you an imperious nod. Has some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge. An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew. Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Jeller field. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ships being possessed after all. Theodora laughs nonchalantly. The gray-haired officer gave the road trader a look of cautious disapproval. Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff? Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Adira eagerly retells me everything she learned from the whispers of her unseen advisors. The ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden looks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. Where is your ship headed? The Rykod system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Only 3 rogue traders exist in the Corona's expanse, and each of them possess resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House Von Valentius, surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykod on the demand. Theodora grimaces. She gives you a stern look and shrugs. For a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purposes for this voyage, but now is not the time. What are my current responsibilities then? Observe. Learn. Absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Aethelthred. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide. I have no more questions. In that case, I shall head to Theodora's Vox, awakened once more. This time you pick up shouting. The Lord Captain freezes, listening to the Voxcast that nods and draws her weapon. Disturbances report on the adjacent decks. Send a scout, the need arises to protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
I will cast you into eternal darkness.
Show them no mercy.
Alright, so let's see. Can't really put anyone anywhere else, so let's start the battle. Double kill.
Reduce the death
Triple kill.
to the heretic.
Oh. That was a cheap shot.
Actions will let this be the warning to all who oppose us.
That's what you get, buddy.
I cannot comply. I won't suffer this.
What does this do? Can't remember. Voice of command forces an ally to fully push themselves, increasing your characteristics by +11 for 1 round.
I can't allow myself to do this.
Miss me. Miss me again. Oh, you got me that time.
How'd you like this?
I took care of this one. For the glory of the Imperium.
Choose our movement points and move over here. And we'll give you a shot.
And so it shall be done.
I missed. Oh, you got him for me. Thank you, Theodora.
Rejoice in service.
Really? Oh, because there's something there. Probably should have checked that beforehand.
This'll leave a scar.
That went about as well as it could have. Mort, take a team with you and clear the path to the transport line. Do not let a single Horizon survive. The rogue trader turns her eyes to you. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst on the deck. Not bad. I've seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel. What is happening? From what we have seen, says Santiago, I speculate that we were dealing with some kind of variety of madness induced by warp travel. The Senescal is astoundingly calm for someone who's just survived a sudden attack. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks. casters are not working or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is touring with us or someone who went to great lengths to cut the ship communication. I will need a direct channel to the engine sea or prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever that may be, keep your weapons to the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them. The incident with the rampaging survivors may be connected to what is transpiring now. Possibly, quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation. What are your orders? Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it. Find the Arch-Militant. I'm concerned about the disrupting communication from the Navigator's sanctum. We should have already approached the translation point and proceeded to real space.
Know your duty.
So we can't go in there. Let's
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
go over here then.
The Divine watches over us.
Oh, there we go. I remember this now.
Damn it. Oh.
Coonrad voice fear lets out a sigh of relief upon seeing you. Thank Providence you were alive and well. Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You can set your chrono by it. Mort, pull yourself together. What did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away. Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports on the situation. Master whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Vox-Nets is silent. The Vox-Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck and my Arch-Militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Has some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report. I have not received word from the engineering regarding any Jeller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports in the middle decks, and the only Vox cast in the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. Mutiny? But who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? Lunatics. Fools. Heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but some risks are unescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the Navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Edelthrit, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is eventually being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on transitional deck 18. Blasted. Master Whispers, find Edelthrit immediately. Send a scout, locate Slash and assist her a battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant, with me. I must go to my study. It appears that we might encounter heretics along the way. Seth, Santiago? If I may, Lord Captain, Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrit back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrit's psyker powers. Then it's settled. Seth Santiago, find Edelthrit and bring him here, in whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? I hear and obey, Lord Captain. Then move out. Mort, come. Are you ready to head to 18? It's a long walk and you do not even have proper gear. I shall make do. Lead the way. Of course you will. He rummages in his pocket for something. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs, but that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hit you in the abdomen, and you were consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. I promise you a special destiny, and it's time to fulfill it. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Rogue Trader here. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you next time in this full release gameplay of Rogue Trader. Thanks for watching.